In this third video, we're going to solve equations graphically. So in the previous videos, we solved equations symbolically. Then we used tables to solve equations numerically. And finally, we're going to go to the graph to solve equations graphically. So let's take a look at a couple of examples here. So this line is given by the equation y equals 10 minus 2x, okay? So if they said find the solution to the equation 10 minus 2x equals 2, that means the value of y is 2. So I want to draw a horizontal line at 2, and it looks like they've done that for me. And you see, you're going to look to see where that horizontal line crosses your graph, which in this case is at 4. So the value, the answer here would be x equals 4, right? Because the value of x here is 4. And it makes sense, right? So x equals 4 is my solution. If I want to check my work, I could actually substitute 4 in and see, does it actually work, right? So 2 times, or negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. And you can see it does work, right? 10 minus 8 is 2, which equals 2. So it worked, okay? Let's practice a few of these. On the next page, we have this equation, f of x equals 3x plus 4 is really the same as y equals 3x plus 4. And then they give us the values for y over here, right? The negative 2, the 4, the 0, right? So you could think of this as y equals 3x plus 4. Or as function, you would say f of x equals 3x plus 4. Right? So if I know that my y is negative 2, I can draw a line at y equals negative 2. And the intersection, right? So this line here is y equals negative 2. We intersect when x equals negative 2. So the answer here would be x equals negative 2. Right? That's my x value when the lines intersect. Right? The next equation says, well, y would be equal to 4, find the value of x. So I draw a horizontal line, and let's see if I can use a different drawing tool. Let's see, I think this will give me a line. So I'm going to draw a straight line at 4, right? So this would be the equivalent of y equals 4, and the value of x, well, this is where we intersect. This would be at 0, right? X would equal 0. And again, I could check my work by substituting in 0 for x, and you see you end up with 4 equals 4. Last one. This one says 3x plus 4 equals 0, so I have a straight line at y equals 0. So let me clean up my graph a little bit. Hold on for 1 second. Here we go. So I want to draw a line at y equals 0. So that's right, that's going to be the origin, or the x-axis, right? So if I draw the line here, where does this intersect? Well, the intersection looks like it's somewhere in between negative 1 and negative 1.5, right? We're counting by halves, right? This is 0, a half, 1, 1.5, 2, and so on. So this looks like maybe negative 1.5. Maybe even less, right? Negative 1.25, or you could just say x is between negative 1 and negative 1.5. So maybe I'll just type that in as my answer. I'll say something like x is between negative 1 and negative 1.5. Right? Negative 1 and negative 1.5. And that would be my answer. Okay? Let's do a couple more problems here. Let's see, next page. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to solve these equations graphically. So again, if I'm asked to find the value of x that will give me a negative 6 for y, I'm going to draw a line at y equals negative, ooh, that didn't come out well. I'm going to draw a line at y equals negative 6, and then I'm going to look for the intersection, which is right here. and that corresponds to, looks like, -1. So my answer would be x equals -1. And you can check your work by plugging in -1 to x to see if it works. Letter B, notice they give us a hint, estimate the solution. So if I draw a line at y equals 0, okay, so here's y equals 0 is this line here. The intersection happens, looks like somewhere between 0 and 1/2. So I'll type my answer in as x is somewhere between 0 and 1/2. X is between 0 and 0.5. Okay? Let's keep moving. One more. This should do it. All right, so now it says find x if f of x equals -1. So remember, f of x and y, right? I could say y equals -1 or f of x equals -1. You still have to draw a horizontal line at -1. So looks like we're counting 2, 3, 4. So here is, right, this is y equals -1, and the intersection happens to be x equals 0, right? The value of x on this dot here is x equals 0. Okay? I think that's going to do it. There's some more practice problems down here that you should try, right? So you're going to be drawing horizontal lines at 0, 2, and 1, and checking for the intersection. And then there's a summary on the next page. I strongly recommend doing the summary. Check your answers in the back of the book. If you have questions, we can chat on Zoom, and I'll help you work through the problems. All right, thank you for watching. Have a great day. This ends section 2.1.